Right, so welcome back guys. Today's video, we're doing a Barani tutorial, but because the last video, the rewind tutorial actually blew the fuck up, so obviously I'm guessing you guys want to see more trick tutorials, so that's exactly what we're doing in today. Yeah, we're going to get straight into it, Barani tutorial. So one thing I want to say about Baranis is before you attempt to do them, make sure you can do matty flips, inverted yaw spins, and power loops very, very fluently, because at the end of the day, a Barani is literally a power loop, a yaw spin, and a matty flip all in one. But before we get into the flying, we're going to do a quad review. We are running a Foxeer stack. We're running AxisFlying 1960 kV motors. We've got a Runcam, we've got a Session 4, and then obviously we're running the SpeedyPizza Pros, because as you've seen in the CNHL review video I did, I just fell in love with them. They're honestly the best lipos I've tried so far, and I can't recommend it enough. It's honestly such a great lipo. And for VTX, we've changed it up slightly. We're running a Foxeer Reaper, simply because I needed a bit more power when I was flying in bandos, and it just made sense to upgrade to that because the solo was a bit too big and it didn't fit comfortably. And obviously this is the FrameX. This is a TrueX bando bashing frame made by David from the UK, and it's the most durable frame I've tested so far. I can't recommend it enough. It's really, really good for juicy spang and flow, because as you can see, because it's TrueX, it's so balanced whenever you do like rewinds or flicks. If you guys want to build a 5-inch, I definitely say try and go for FrameX. Just hit them up on Instagram, tell them you want a frame, and then they'll put you on the waiting list and have you shipped out as soon as possible. And one last thing before we get into the video, I've got my rates on the screen now. In case you guys missed it in my last video, these are the rates I'm using. So feel free to try them. Let me know what you think, because I've recently had people try them and they said they really, really like it. So if you really want to fly that juicy, spangy style, give those rates a go. And obviously, as I've said in my last videos, make sure you try and linearize your rates as much as possible. It doesn't have to be completely linear, but obviously the more linear you can make it, the more flicky your flying can become, and it'll be a lot crisper on the rewinds. So yeah, that's just the last thing I wanted to talk about. Let's get straight into the flying. Right, let's get this show on the road. So as I've said before, to do a Barani, you need to be comfortable doing 3 tricks, and that is the power loop, the inverted yaw spin, and then the matty flip. So for those of you who don't know, a power loop is just, we'll use this archway as like a reference, because this gives us quite a bit of leeway when we're trying to do the Barani. So basically a power loop is just, most of you who've done FPV already know how to do a power loop. Inverted yaw spin, if we just do it in this field out here, it's where you just orient your quad upside down and you just twist. I turned a bit too much, but you get the point. It's you just punch up and you just go like that. And then a matty flip is basically a power loop, but backwards. So most of you done FPV would already know this trick by now. But basically, you want to get it as smooth as possible, because I've known quite a few people who do matty flips do like that, where they sort of just do a front flip at the start of it, and then they can't swing backwards. So my tip to get smooth matty flips is basically, as you pitch forwards and you're upside down, give it a bit of throttle as you start accelerating backwards. And don't be shy to give it a bit of throttle, because like if you don't give it some throttle, you end up like that, where you don't have enough momentum going backwards. So if you look at the stick cam, yeah, as I'm upside down and I start to go backwards, give it a bit of juice just to get it the momentum to go forwards. And that'll be very, very useful for the Baranis. So basically, on a Barani, you just combine all 3 of them. You can look at the stick cam underneath. So it's basically power loop, yaw spin, and then you just send a matty flip at the end. But I didn't want to do it there because I was a bit too high. But basically, I'll just give you a demonstration of it quick. There you go. That's all a Barani is. You just want to incorporate the 3 tricks into one. You do the power loop, the yaw spin, and then you do the matty flip. And then very, very important thing, when you do the matty flip, make sure you give it throttle on the way down, so you actually swing backwards through the hole again. And a very, very important tip with Baranis is, I had it at the start where I started to learn it, you'd lose track of where like this beam is. And my best tip for that is honestly just keep track of it as you go upside down, because with that, you can judge your height. With that, you can judge your height and you can judge how far you swing backwards. So whenever you do anything upside down, my biggest tip is try and keep a reference point. So if you'll look at it like until I swing backwards, I've always got the archway in view. So if you do it again, you see what I mean? Like until I swing backwards, I can constantly see the archway. But yeah, that's about it. Right guys, so that does it for the tutorial video for today. As always, I try and keep it short and simple and just get straight to the point. But the main takeaway from this video is before you try and attempt a Barani, make sure you can do power loops, yaw spins and mighty flips consistently or relatively consistently. And my biggest tip when you try and go for it for the first time is don't be afraid to give it some throttle when you're upside down and you need to swing backwards, because I've had it quite a lot of times when I was trying to learn it where you sort of try and swing backwards but the quad just stays in place because it's not going off momentum. So honestly, it's about timing the throttle and throttling up at the perfect time so you can swing backwards and then get the momentum you need. And another very, very important tip is always try and keep a reference point. So when you're upside down doing the yaw spin, it can disorientate you very, very easily. So my biggest tip is when you're upside down, like as I was saying, that like archway we had, keep your reference point as the archway or the object you're trying to Barani around, because that's the best way you can judge how high you are or how much you need to swing back. So as always, thank you guys again for watching. And then in next video, we're definitely going to be doing the trippy spin tutorial as well, because I've had some people ask about that and potentially rewind trippies as well. So yeah, see you guys next time.